So Tarkov has a new event, but it's more of a tutorial, if you will. It comes with a couple of tasks. That's the Mortar tasks. So this is a series of tasks centered around the new Mortar system in the game that walk you through how it works, gives you some rewards, and unlocks a couple of interesting items. This video is going to walk you through the whole process, tell you how to get each and everything done, because some of it's kind of confusing. The quests aren't worded the best. But we'll clear all that up, and before you know it, you'll have your achievement as long as you do it soon enough. Okay, so the first task you have from Proper is called Into the Inferno. The quest requires you pretty simply visit an active mortar strike area, any specified location, shoreline, woods, reserve, and customs. Now, the mortar locations happen in the same place an airdrop happens, but the airdrop doesn't happen until the second volley or the second round. So you'll hear mortars on the map, they'll hit twice, and then in that same area, airdrop will land, and then the mortars cycle on and off every couple of minutes. So they go for a few minutes, they stay off for, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes, and then they turn back on again. And you don't want to be outside when it happens because it's random enough. You might get lucky and be able to run through one and survive. I got lucky, but I've seen a lot of people die thinking they were even outside of it, not even trying to be close. So the idea is to get inside the area. Mine dinged once the mortar strike happened. So I was in West Wing of Resort inside, and once the mortar strike happened, that's when I got my quest finished. So we'll go to the handy wiki, we'll pull up the quest there for Into the Inferno, and look at what it shows us. So it shows you the rough areas. So you'll notice the shirt change. That's because we had to refilm a section of this because BSG did not keep the mortars in the same place. So we're gonna go over to the handy little wiki and take a peek at the locations that we know of so far. They could move again. It could be any of these 4, I guess. It could be a new one. So when you go into map, either shoreline, customs, reserve, or woods, the mortars are going to happen, you know, about 5, maybe, I don't think it's been as late as 10, but it's going to happen after a certain amount of time. You'll hear the mortars start. Wherever those are impacting, if you're still trying to do this, that's the direction you're going to want to head towards. And then the second round of mortars are going to hit, and then an airdrop is going to come down in the middle of that second volley. And then once that airdrop lands, you will not have time. Don't go run for it right away, because from what I've seen, the volleys follow right away. You don't have time to get in and get out before that third volley shows up. Let the third volley go through and then do your thing. But that's how you're going to have to find the location. You can go off of these maps a little bit, at least. Hopefully they're a little bit of a guide. Some maps have room to add a 5th, 6th, 7th location. Some maps don't. So we'll just have to wait and see what they end up doing with the mortars. But here's for shoreline, you have the swamp, resort, the new farm area, as well as the gas station kind of vicinity. Now, in order to get the task completed, you will need to be inside this area when the mortar strike happens, I believe. That's when I got mine, is I was in the area and the mortars started. You have to be in the circle, so you kind of have to get right on the edge of it, which you won't know unless it's kind of happening, and then run away. Though you don't have to survive, so you could just full send it and try to live, and if you live, great. If you don't, you still complete the task. I'll leave that up to you. On woods, we've seen them. The 5 locations are at the USEC camp, at the crossroads section right outside of where the checkpoint is. This is where you have to do the fuel. You mark the fuel markers. This little crossroad here. I imagine the crate probably lands right in the middle of the open field, right in the middle of Sawmill, obviously. Then you have this kind of weird forested area here by the village. There's a spawn right there. Spawn in here, and you can spawn in here. And that is going to be an interesting place to do this. I haven't been here with the mortars yet, but a lot of cover, a lot of places to hide, kind of a scary place to try to get to a crate. And then you have the village. These circles are not 100% accurate. I have seen the mortars, like I was up on the mountain watching the mortars of the village, and I was seeing them hit all the way up to these rocks, all the way up to the car, this whole field out here. There's it's bigger than this circle indicates sometimes, but that's for woods. Reserve, smaller maps. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of area you can do it, but basically both of the echo fields, you have the top of the bunkers where the hermetic door is, and then the K buildings. So those are your locations for reserve. And then customs, you're up at 5 again. You got the power hill right here, dorms, fort, crack house, kind of between sniper, that big open field. It's kind of where the goons spawn, basically. We call this little building here ice cream. So the ice cream intersection right here before you get to the bridge. And then Big Red and the storage area and stuff. Another interesting area to have the airdrop happen. Obviously, like on customs, you could have them happen over in the factory. There's probably 2 or 3 places more you could have in the factory. So we'll just have to see if they keep popping these areas around and what they end up doing. Okay, so once you do that, you get out, you complete the quest, you go into in and out. Now, in and out's a little bit different. You have to hand in 2 found in raid radar station spare parts. These come down in the airdrop, and each airdrop has 6 of them in there. You need 2 for this task, but you need more later. So the first time you were there and you were just had to get the ding from the area, if you get the opportunity to get to the crate and get items out of it, do it, because you need a minimum of 3 of these just to get through the tasks. And he does give you one, but say 3. But later on, you need a bunch of these, like 25, I think. You need a ton of them, not to get the achievement. But again, any chance you have to get these radar station spare parts, get them. So you go in, you go to any of the maps, Shoreline, Woods, Reserve, or Customs. You can get these out of there. If you go with a team of 3, all 3 of you guys can get them. They are 3x3s, so make sure you have a big enough backpack. You know, for example, if you bring a blackjack in, you can actually bring out 4 of them, but they are heavy. They're 8 kilograms a piece. They're pretty heavy. You're going to be using a mule or something probably to get out of raid. But even like a tri-zip T30, those can carry 2 with a little extra space. If you're going in to do this mission, you're going in to do this. You're not going to get out with much other loot other than what you can carry on you, like in your gear or an extra weapon from a player you killed. And once you get these 2 parts, you get them out, you hand them into proper, but it also says, and this has got a lot of people hung up, eliminate 10 targets on any location with mortar strikes. So, and rightfully so, a lot of people think this means you have to kill people with the mortar strikes. That's not what you have to do. You don't get mortar strikes yet. You can't call them in. You can't go find where they're being shot from or anything like that. This just means you have to kill 10 targets on maps that have the mortar strikes. So Shoreline, Woods, Reserve, Customs. Like I said, it's poorly worded. So any 10 targets, scavs, players, it doesn't matter what. You kill 10 of them on any of the map, anywhere on the map, and it counts. So it's pretty easy. Get your 10 kills, get your 2 crates, get out of raid, and you've completed this task. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, when you accept this task, you're going to get the mortar strike signaling device. This thing's a little pager beeper thingy that when the mortars are coming, it starts vibrating. Now, you don't feel it, obviously, though. I know some of you might like that. But it makes the audible vibrating, buzzing sound. And everybody can hear this. It's not just you. This is everybody. So if you're hiding in a closet, everybody around you can hear it. And who knows what they think you're doing. Like, if you've got your green weenie cranked that high up, man, that shit's gonna rattle your guts out. Or I'll just do it for you. It can be useful. I stopped running it because I didn't want it giving away my position anymore. And there's no way to like switch it off. It would be nice if there was a toggle for this. You could have it on, but once it starts going, you turn it off. So you don't have to sit there and give away your position. But it is what it is. It is where we're at. Now, one of the interesting things about the item is it can't go anywhere. You can't even put it in your container. It has to go in a special slot. That's it. So you can't lose it. You can't drop it. Like you can't even put it into like an item case. It'll go into a junk box, but for whatever reason, it won't let you put it into an item case. It is what it is. And they won't let you put it in your secure container. But that's it. I got it. I never even used it. I got it and didn't run it because you don't really need it. You know where the mortars are at. And if you're paying attention to audio, you'll hear them start shooting 5 seconds maybe before they land. You have about 5-second warning to start hauling ass and get away from the area. It's not much, but just be aware of your timing and everything else, and you'll be all right without it. Okay, so you got your 2 devices turned in, you got your 10 kills, you're on to the next quest, next task, which is Hours by Right. Now, this is the one that it starts to get kind of more difficult. The difficulty steps up, especially depending on how familiar you are with rogues and fighting on Lighthouse. You have to kill 10 rogues. I think the most we've ever seen on a raid is 8 or 9. You might be able to get 10 in a single raid, but I don't think there's that many. I think it's 8 at most, but there could be more. Either way, plan on going 2 or 3 raids just to kill the rogues alone, but you also have to get 2 of the Garry's-Aunt portable electronic warfare devices. So they're these thingies right here. This isn't a very good picture, but they're little radio looking things. The rogues have them on them. They're a 1x2. They're a low spawn rate. We had some raids where we got 4 off of all of the rogues, and we had others where we only got 1 out of all of them. And we were able to loot all of them, or we killed the player scav that had looted one of them and he didn't have one on him. So they're not super common. If you're just running Lighthouse and you come across one, make sure you save it, because again, you need 2 for the quest here and you need a bunch more later. You end up needing 15 of these for one of the later quests, along with 1 that you get. But again, we'll talk about that in a minute. So you get your 2 of them off the rogues. They got to be found in raid. You get your 10 kills for rogues. There's optional to locate and neutralize Big Pipe, Bird Eye, and Knight, but I don't know if this matters. You don't need to do it. I don't think it gives you any bonuses. I don't know if you kill them, if it checks the box for the rogues. They also will have these portable electronic devices on them. People have been finding them. I don't know if it's more common or not. Just not enough data to honestly say that. But you don't have to kill them. We didn't run into the goons. We didn't go looking for them, and we completed the task and moved on. Now, the next one is the first one that's kind of got a butt pucker stuff into it. When you accept this quest from Proper, he's going to give you a radar station spare parts, the big box, and the Garry's-Aunt portable electronic warfare devices. He gives those to you for the quest, and you have to plant these. The radar station spare parts goes to Woods at the old sawmill hangar, and that's a really bad way of describing it. I'm gonna pull up the map here. So the old sawmill is the area up by the village. New sawmill is one we're all aware of. Old sawmill is all the way up on the northwest corner of the map, kind of by where the Northern UN roadblock extract is. The big barn there, that's where you're headed. And that's this, this building in here. You're gonna go inside and you're gonna go right for this wood pallet, this pile of wood boxes. It's on this corner facing right here, and we'll show some B-roll of it. It's kind of hard to find the corner. You got to kind of wiggle it around, you get it, and you start planting, and it's a long plant. Now, this is kind of a rough task simply because if you die, you lose the item, and you have to go get another one, which means you have to either go to Woods and you have to go to airdrop and pick one up and then hump it all the way back up here to plant it, which is doable. It's not impossible, but it does kind of suck. So just be careful when you're doing this. Move around the map slow. If you're close, spawn to it, boogie to it as fast as you can, get it planted and get it out of the way, because it doesn't matter if you survive as long as you get it planted. Now, next up after that is obviously the far more tough one, and it's the Garry's-Aunt portable electronic warfare device. And this is why I told you guys keep extra of these, because you need them anyways, but if you die, you have spares to try it again. You don't have to go back and get them. So you have to get these off of rogues, remember, the same ones. Proper gives you one, and you have to go to Shoreline, and you have to go to the weather station. So that's the big radar dome hill down kind of on the southwest corner of the map up on top of the mountain. You guys should all know what that is, the big radar dome, this thing. You actually have to go up into this. So you're going to go up, and there's a little room building, not quite all the way to the roof, but this room building, the third floor, whatever you want to call it. You go inside there and you plant your device in here. And that's it. You plant it, you're done, you're out of there. Again, keep in mind that this area has been very active the last couple of days on Shoreline since the event started, because people are doing this on top of the normal traffic there, plus the goons and everything else. So it's a really active spot. So just be careful approaching it. You make a lot of noise running up there. If anybody's near you, they're going to know you're up there. So don't screw around. Get up there, probably get in and plant as fast as you can, and then just hope that nobody gets to you before you do that. Okay, so the next one is kind of a new style. This is a task like the marathon that requires you to transit. It's a fun but super challenging task. It's a little bit of a butt pucker. Not everybody's going to get it done the first time. Try to go with the team if you can, but it's fun. I enjoyed doing this because of the extra challenge. And this cream of the crop has basically, what is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got like 5, 6 steps to it that you have to do in a single raid. So the first thing you need to do is when you gear up, bring extra food and water, because you're going to go to Shoreline and then you're going to transition to Lighthouse, and you could potentially be in both of these maps for a full raid. So make sure you have the food and water to do that. It's going to depend on your metabolism and other things. I brought 2 lunch boxes and 2 Kvass bottles. I don't remember exactly. I brought plenty to get through, plus I looted some stuff when we were on Shoreline. Either way, make sure you do that. You can bring a bunch of extra ammo, but I wouldn't be too heavy because you're going to be kind of heavy anyways. So just prepared for that transit. So you're going to go to Shoreline. That's where you start off. And the first thing you have to do is you have to go find a yellow flare. It's an RSP-30 reactive signal cartridge, special yellow. It's not one you can buy. It's only one that's in the game. There's basically 3, technically 4 locations you want to get it on. They're here. So and I'll show you the specific spots. This is the radio tower on the east side of the map. This is the weather station, kind of southeast corner of the map, which you've been there before already. And then you have one on east and one on west on the roof of these buildings. So we'll go there first. West wing is going to be on the ledge right like where you're looking at between them. This is the sky bridge. Helicopter is going to be down over here to the right. So if you're on west wing, this is where it should spawn. East wing is going to be on the roof over on the side where the inside stairs are. There's 2 stairs to get to the roof, the outside metal stairs and the inside stairs. You go up the inside stairs, you turn left. That's right where this is at. And then after that, this is the barrel. Like you're looking at resort. Resort's like up over here. This is at the radio tower. So there's a barrel there. This is where I actually found mine. I will have some B-roll for you to show you. The other one is on the spool on the other corner of that same location. Then you have one on the roof of the actual building. This is all the way up on the top of the roof of the building at the weather station. And then the last one can be up on the very tippy top of the radar dome where you went and planted already. There are rumors that there's more spawns than this, so look around if you're not seeing it. I also don't know if they all spawn or if it only spawns in 1 or 2 places or what it is. I got lucky. The first place we went, it was sitting right there. That's my experience with it. So people have said they've looked around and not found it, but I've also had people say that they just didn't look close enough, because you sit down and walk them through it and they find it as soon as you do it. So just keep your eyes peeled. You're looking for the yellow flare. Again, you can find this, I believe. I don't think you need the quest active. I think it's there every raid. So even if you're not on this task, you can find it and pick it up and save it for later, which I would suggest doing that to get that check out of the way and not have to worry about it when you come to the task. But this is just step 1. All of that is just step 1 of this long process of this task. Step 2 requires you to shoot the flare, and that's where you get into this, where he talks about find the COSA UAV electronic jamming device. That is going to come down with this flare. What we did is we went to the farm, which is up here, the Smuggler's Path Extract, the new area. We went there to use it because it was out of the way, and we also timed it with the mortar strikes going on at Resort, so people couldn't really tell what was going on. What I did, as soon as I heard the first the first set of mortars, I fired ours off and we just got cover inside the tents. And then our mortar strike happened at the same time as theirs, because that's what happens. You fire this flare off, mortars start raining down right where you're at, and the airplane flies over and drops a package right in the middle of the mortar strike. And then, well, it's not right in the middle. It has its own little area to land, but it lands and then the mortar strike stops. Make sure it's over with. This might be a good time to have your little buzzer pager, but just listen for the whistling mortars and the holy terror of that. Once that crate lands, the mortars are over. Go to the crate. There will be 3 of the devices you need in there. So this thing shows this right here. This is not the COSA UAV electronic jamming device. This is not correct. This is not what it looks like. This is the correct picture right here. It's this big green boxy thing, weighs 3 kilograms, so it's kind of heavy. It's a 2x3, so make sure you have the spot. And there's 3 of them in there. There's no reason to pick them all up because you can't do anything with them really. It's just extra weight. But unless your buddy's with you, we had 3 people with us, so all 3 of us took them. And now after you get this item, you need to go to Lighthouse. You cannot extract or you will have to restart the task. So for us, we had to hoof our way all the way along. We went along the northern side of the map, crossed at the river, went to where the path to shoreline extract is. That is going to be where your transit location, I'll show you here on the map, your transit location is. And you get it a little bit before the path to Lighthouse. You'll have an interact menu come up to hit F. I'm sure some of you have done this on accident now, not meaning to, just because how some of the extracts are overlapped, and then you're forced to transit. That's another story. You hit F, you can throw, if you have any loot, you can throw it in, send it back to your stash, and then you head to Lighthouse. And this is where the real difficult part begins, to be honest with you. Okay, so you're going to spawn into Lighthouse, and if you get lucky and get this spawn that's like right here, you're golden, because that's right where you got to be. You're headed to this seaside house with this device that you got. If you spawn somewhere else, all I can say is good luck, because it's most of the other spawns, you're fighting through spawns to get here, and if you die, you're starting all over. Just is what it is. Whatever you think is the best method to get there, wait a while. A lot of times you're better off waiting, but sometimes you're better off rushing there. The idea is you want to get to Seaside House. Just know that if you're still aggro to rogues, which it takes 3 raids to get unaggroed from rogues if you've been killing them. If you're still aggro to rogues, they can engage you in this area, especially at this other house. So be wary of that. Don't come running across the road over here because you'll get blasted by the rogues if they're still up. You get to the Seaside House and you do another quest in here where there's a briefcase you pick up. It's the same spot. So you're going to go into the Seaside House up on the 2nd floor. And that's this one right here. We're looking at it. You can run down the walkway, you can go up the stairs. And once you're inside, you're going to go straight in and make your first left. And you're going to go to this bedroom. You can prone here and place the item, or you can get up on the bed. Either or. Just keep in mind you're easy to see in this room from outside. So going prone in here might be a good idea if there's room. But you go in and you plant the device here, and that's it. There's no survive requirement. There's nothing else. Once planted, you are done whether you survive or die. So once you get that all done, you check the box, you get your 3 moonshines, your 5 beers, some money, some XP, and you get these reactive blue signal cartridge devices. And that's what these are right here. Pretty interesting thing. It says a reactive signal cartridge for commanding and maintaining squad interactions. Some scavs use this flare to send some kind of signals. The question is, what do these signals mean? This calls in mortars. Pretty simply, it calls a mortar strike in around you, where you call the flare on. It lasts about 20 seconds. And there's no other way to get them other than the tasks now. So if you burn through them, they're not great. I haven't thought of a lot of great tactical use for them yet. I guess if you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, you could shoot one in the air, just hopefully you're in your cover. Players aren't gonna have a good idea these are coming until it's too late. You don't get credit for the kills, but it will kill anything around you. You get 3 with this task, and then the next task that comes along, you get the achievement. So once you do this, you do have the achievement, Highway to the Danger Zone. I kind of chuckled, I like that. That's the achievement you get for completing this, along with the 3 flares. And then he pushes you to the next task, which is Before the Rain, where you have to get 25 of the radar station spare parts. That's the big one, 25 of them. So even if you're doing 4 per raid, it's gonna take you forever to get this done. It's hard. We did 3 in a couple hours, just dying and fighting and stuff. So it can be done, and that's not even the hard part. I think the 15 Gary zoned portable electronic warfare devices is even more difficult. Those are the ones that are on rogues, 2x1s, just because it takes a long time to do this. The radar station spare parts, you can get in and out pretty quickly if you're lucky and cycle these. These guys, it just takes time to clear the rogue camp, loot it, and then get out. So you get 15 of those, and then he gives you 5 more of the blue cartridges, 2 Zabrals, 2 Vulcans, and most importantly, a PKP. This is gonna be the one big reason that's worth doing this, because you can use this for Gunsmith 25 if you want, without having to kill Kollontai or worry about his RNG, because it's even harder to get on him now because he has more guns in his loot pool because he has the M60 and shit. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this simply because it gives me that PKP, and I don't have to worry about being lucky and getting it off Kaban and getting it out of raid. Now, for now, this is it. Once you complete this, there's no tasks as of making this video. But I want to show you upon completing the quest, Proper is going to say, I think we salvaged most of it. That's good now. That's good. Now we wait. So what does this mean? Could mean nothing. I think it means that there's more stuff coming down the road. I don't know if there could be a 24-hour timer on finishing this task for everybody, like there is with the gunsmith and stuff, or it could just be BSG's waiting for enough people to push through it or turn off the achievement for the event, and then they move forward with the quest line. It could be something we see early. It could be something we don't see for a couple of months. It could be nothing. They could do nothing more with this, but they left it open-ended. So there is a little bit, besides the PKP, there is some more motivation to do this quest, which is after the achievement. Again, you don't have to do Before the Rain to get the achievement. The achievement was the quest before that, the task before it, cream of the crop. So I'm going to keep working on this, doing some other stuff. We'll get done as much as we can, try to push through and get the items and things turned in so we can move the quest forward and see where we go from there. Again, keep in mind, BSG said this event is going to be limited time. It's the only way you're going to be able to get this achievement. So if you're an achievement hunter, you have to do this, because I don't think they're going to offer it again. They might, but I doubt it. So it's going to be kind of a one-off achievement. So go for it if you can. As always, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I hope you got something out of it and help make the process a little bit easier. If you're still struggling with something, don't hesitate to come by the stream. I try to answer questions as much as I can. We're both on YouTube and Twitch with that. And lastly, shout out for my music. Links down below in the description. My music made in cooperation with Low Wave Records. It's free to listen to. It's got good music there. I listen to it every day on stream. We're a little over 180 songs on 9 albums, maybe 10. I forget the count. And it's just good, chill lo-fi. Go give it a listen. Let me know which songs you like. If we can get over 1,000 daily listeners, we get to make another album. That's kind of the bars. That's how we set the metrics and things like that, just to make sure it makes sense to do it. Again, it's free to listen to, but it still supports us. And on top of that, if you're a content creator, it is free for you to use. We don't charge for it. So no DMCA takedowns or copyright strikes or muted VODs or any of that kind of stuff you have to deal with. All we ask is that you attribute us so people know where to find it if they like it. And then it's there for you to use. But we'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys again for watching. I wish you the best of luck on your raids. Good luck on getting your achievement, and we'll see you in Tarkov.